Welcome.
Wow. Welcome. Oh.
It's Lent. It's
What?
Lent.
It's Lent. It's Lent.
I could still see the ashes on your forehead.
I could still see your mom's ashes. No.
I didn't give my mom ashes.
You know
this
what's
year.
funny is
What?
I run
Mom
into people.
jokes?
Mom jokes are funny. Yes. I think it's so funny running into people who say, I just earlier today I had a conversation with someone and they said, this is like at noon, and they said, I feel like I've been talking to you all day because they were cleaning their house and listening to the podcast like all morning.
Oh,
And so
made
I was
some good choices.
I was
in
like,
life.
hi, and they were like, oh, I feel like I've been talking to you all day, and I was like, okay, well, you haven't. Hello,
Wow.
how are you? Yeah, it's funny when people are like, "Oh man, that was a great episode about," and they mentioned something from like a year ago, and I'm like, "What?"
Oh, different podcast?
They're just behind.
There they are.
They're behind.
Well, they're just catching up, or they just found us. They found us on.
They're catching up.
Yeah,
They got 298 episodes to
we're coming up on 300 of
catch
these
up
things.
on. Yes, in a couple weeks.
Wow, that's some
Yep.
serious stuff.
Yep.
You could catch us, if people are out there and they're like, I can't listen to you all the time. Well, you can listen to us on PDFM and then also listen to the Mass.
What do you mean they can't listen to us?
They for some reason they're like, oh, I can't catch the podcast, or
They don't have access to the internet?
I don't know. Maybe they don't like podcast makers. Maybe they give up podcasts for Lent.
Oh.
See, some people.
Oh, is our listenership going to go down?
Well, I hope not. But if you're going to give up something for Lent, don't be us, because we are very penitential and we're going to help you.
Yes. Maybe our voices are like nails on a chalkboard to you.
Yeah. So people are giving up podcasts or audiobooks and they're like, you know what? I've realized that I actually don't have any silence in my life. So
I'm giving up not listening to you because I hate your voice.
Oh, is that why you moved upstairs? Because you want to see me?
I moved upstairs for one night because my room was 58 degrees.
Man, that's. Yeah.
It was chilly.
Oh well, Father David.
The air stopped working.
What about those? What about those people that live in Alaska? The Inuits.
Yeah. Hey, shout out! We have one of our priests. Just pray. Here's something to pray for. One of our priests is Father David Webb.
Oh yeah.
Who grew up at St. Benedict's in Broken Arrow and has been assigned with Christ the King, Bishop Kelly. He was pastor at the University of Tulsa. Anyway, he is becoming a military chaplain. So he's been training, kind of getting into fighting shape.
Low crawling.
And
just low crawl to the
and he
church
leaves
the other
at the end of the month for his
officer candidate.
Yeah, anyway, so David Webb, shout out, man. Thank you. Thank you for your service in the future.
In the future.
That's great. That's great. Okay, so it is Lent.
Yeah, and it's a great time for conversion. Repent and believe in the gospel.
Yes.
Fasting, prayer, almsgiving, the standard operating procedures of the defense against the dark arts, and growing in holiness. Sorry, that was a Harry Potter statement. That's what he says. He goes, there's a great line in there. He goes, this is a defense against the dark arts. And that's what fasting, prayer, and almsgiving do. Father O'Brien, why don't you...
I just want to give a quick update of where our audience comes from.
Oh, no.
This is hilarious.
Kirplakistan?
All right. Downloads.
Some Houthi rebels?
Downloads this week. The United States, 97% of our downloads are in the United States.
Okay, don't ask me to name towns now because I biffed that last week.
The number 2 country coming in at 1.02%. With 6 downloads, Germany.
Somebody must be deployed.
But then, this is a new one. Coming in third place at 0.51% with 3 downloads, the Cayman Islands. Somebody's on vacation, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And then Mexico, then Canada, then Saudi Arabia. We got a download in Saudi Arabia.
Deployment.
Let's go.
Hey, whoever's going to the Cayman Islands, why don't you invite me there to either...
No, they're already there. They're probably already there and back.
I can chaplain your next trip, or... because you know what? There was like this faith cruise through the Caribbean that...
a
Catholic
faith cruise, like there's no pilot. They just
Jesus, take the wheel. No, it was. I think it was put on by like Catholic Answers or something like that.
Oh, they do cruises. Catholic Answers does cruises.
And MP Brewington's mom was down there.
Oh, okay.
So we may have some fan club.
And then real quick before we talk about Lent, so Oklahoma is our number one state.
Yes.
But Oklahoma is only 56% of our downloads. 44% are coming from somewhere else. So in second place is Texas. Third place, California.
Mary Frost and
Fourth
family.
place, Washington State.
Ooh.
And then Missouri, Colorado, Indiana, Kansas, Georgia, New York, Virginia, North Carolina, Ohio, Florida, Michigan, Iowa, Illinois, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Alaska, Arizona, Idaho, Massachusetts. I have a lot of family in Massachusetts. Why aren't they? Maine, New Jersey, Nevada. Bam.
Well, send in some prayers.
That's hilarious.
Hey, y'all
Anyway,
who are out there listening, say a few prayers for the college students and the parishioners of St. Francis Xavier, especially as well. Like we're going to Central America for a mission trip here in a few weeks, and just pray for the growth and holiness. Yeah, there's just beautiful stuff going on in the great city of Stillwater, including Father O'Brien leaving. But I don't want to talk about that right now. Father O'Brien, I hear there's rumors, and maybe the rumors are true, that you're condoning eating lobster for Lent.
Okay, so we're recording this. We're recording this before I've given this homily. Just want to let everybody know.
Really? Yeah.
Well, I don't want to say. I want to tell people what I'm thinking about for my Ash Wednesday homily.
You mean I bilocated to in the future?
So
and
we're
the
recording
past?
this a little earlier than that, and so I haven't. This homily has not yet been given, but you're going to be listening to this after you may have heard it.
I try to say something ridiculous, and he just keeps talking over.
Yeah,
me. He just.
I know.
You've been around each other for 25 years.
For 20 years. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so here's what I was thinking.
Condoning lobster eating on Fridays in Lent.
No.
Got it.
Here's what I was thinking. So, Lent, you just mentioned, you said prayer.
Sorry.
You can eat lobster on Fridays of Lent.
If you're a lobster boatsman.
I would say, or in small amounts. Okay, anyway, here we go. So Lent, hear me out. Lent, right, prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. Lent is, Jesus goes out into the desert, and he doesn't have material goods. He has himself, and he has the angels, the Father, and the angels ministering to him. So I was just thinking about Lent as a time of getting rid. I mean, one of my practices of Lent is to kind of purge possessions.
Well, you're moving, and you've been given away,
and I'm moving, so that helps the situation. But I don't want to be purging because I'm moving. I want to purge because there's stuff that I don't need that's getting in the way of simplicity, or that's getting in the way of my relationship.
Give me a couple things. Give me at least one.
So I've recently. So if you're familiar with my sort of MO is following the Japanese art of tidying up by Marie Kondo. Are you familiar with this? Apparently, she has a show on Netflix now. But I've been reading Marie Kondo 10 years ago before her Netflix thing on the advice of my sister. Anyway, Marie Kondo says to kind of do one subject at a time, one thing at a time. So I did just recently. I did my books. So I went through all my books in my office and in my room, and that was actually the result of the great book giveaway here at the parish probably 3 weeks ago. And then I did clothes, and I don't really have a lot of clothes to start with, but there's just some clothes I haven't worn in a while, clothes that are perfectly fine that I just don't need. I don't wear.
Astros jerseys, give them away.
Astros jerseys, collector's items, man. Awesome. Then, so then there was one day, it was a Monday, which is our day off, and I was kind of around the house, and I went through drawers of just my office drawer, pens and paper clips and, just kind of simplifying there. Anyway, all of that. My point is, Lent is a time so in my mind, I was Lent is a time to just shed, to just get rid of, external stuff that is getting in the way. And then I'm watching YouTube.
This is going downhill fast.
It's not.
Go ahead.
So I was watching this thing because I'm going to be traveling this summer. So I was watching a little thing about Boston.
Oh yeah, because you're going to be up there
on YouTube. And part of this little mini sort of documentary about Boston, there was a whole little thing about the food in Boston. Anyway, this image of a lobster comes up. And I had just been thinking about shedding and then this lobster. So anyway, I started watching for probably about 30 minutes. I watched videos about lobsters and how they molt.
Wait. So you were watching things about Boston.
Yes.
Then a lobster came up, and then what made you think about watching more videos? The addiction to YouTube?
No. The homily prep. I was thinking about shedding for Lent, getting rid of stuff, and then lobsters came into my mind, and I put the two together. So lobsters, in order to grow,
did you know what you're about to say prior to you watching this video on lobsters?
No. But I thought of lobsters shed. Lobsters molt.
Okay.
In order to grow. So the shedding and the lobsters came together, and this is my Ash Wednesday homily, that in order to grow, you have to shed.
Shed your external armor?
In order for a lobster to grow, they have to molt. They have to break away from their external skin
to get to the tastiness in the inside. You can dip in butter.
To grow.
Oh.
Anyway, that is what I'm working on for my Ash Wednesday homily. That then basically take the season of Lent to look at your life and say, what's getting in the way? What's getting in the way?
What do I need to shed?
What do I need to molt?
Okay.
Or to shed? That was it. What do you think? Does that work?
Oh.
Because I haven't given it yet, so give me some feedback. I shared this with you the other night, and you kind of thought it was stupid. You gave me a look. You didn't say anything, but by not saying anything, you said something.
Well, there's this moment of radio silence on here because I thought you were going to change your homily after I called you out for encouraging people to eat lobster on Friday, but you've changed that about the homily.
I'm not encouraging people to eat lobster at all.
I'm just still trying to go down this road. Anyway, okay, I like it. I like the in order to grow in our faith, there has to be this. Some people will talk about in the faith life, the expansion of the heart. The heart has to grow.
Yes.
It has to grow,
yes.
and the heart has to grow, so that greater love can not only come in, but as this heart grows and expands, it's going to give that divine love away.
That's amazing.
And so it's very much like this: is that the armor that is around the tasty, delicious, soon-to-be butter-filled, laden little sea urchin, probably not a sea urchin, but
it's a crustacean.
A crustacean around that. It prevents, it actually restricts it.
Right. It restricts it from growing. That's what I'm saying.
So if you want your lobsters larger and tastier, then they have to go through this process. And just like this, if you want your soul larger and more tastier, ?
So every analogy limps in some way, right? And this doesn't. I'm not gonna carry the lobster analogy all the way through
the homily.
It's a way to start.
Yeah.
In the homily world, it's what's called a hook.
Yeah.
Right? You start with something that's kind of like, where's he going with that? Why is he talking about lobster? Oh. And then, then off you go. But I like that. Yeah, I think we've talked about before when I've heard my parents say this, when they have a child and they just love that child. They love that child with all their heart. And then they have another child.
Yeah.
And some people are scared of having a second child because, well, I love this one. Do I have enough love to give away? Or they have 3 children and they're thinking about, well, maybe, does God want us to have more children? And they get scared because they may not think they have all that love to give. And what God does is he expands the heart.
Yeah.
And so somebody with 10 kids doesn't say, yep, each one gets a 10th of my love. And if I had one kid, that kid would be so loved. But the 10, no, we have to divide it up.
Forget about them.
Anyway, I like that. That the heart expands. But when the heart expands, like how I'm like thinking out loud here, like from like biology. I mean, like a baby's heart is small.
Yeah.
And as the heart grows, like the body has to grow.
Yep.
So like if a baby has an adult heart, it won't fit.
It won't fit in the torso. And it won't, and the veins won't, and the arteries won't be able to take the pressure because they won't be the same size
so
or the dimension.
Yeah. So like the body has to grow as the heart grows. Wow. Okay. I like that.
Great.
I like that. The idea of the heart expanding.
Yeah, and it is. I mean, I like to watch you get rid of stuff because then I can sneak in and be like, I'm gonna take some of this stuff.
What do you want nothing I have will fit you?
I've then thinking.
You don't know how to read.
I want your I've been thinking game over there.
You don't use anything that would be in the like organizational realm.
You know what? I am about to get my first plastic tray to put folders in because I realize.
Can I help you with this?
I would love that. Yeah. Because I
feel
realize
like I have a gift to give.
Because I have all these things and I can't, and I'm keeping them in my noggin.
Oh.
Or I'm keeping them in pieces of paper.
We've talked about.
I know.
David Allen, my main man. Guys, everyone out there, stop what you're doing. This
I'm
would
about
actually
to ruin.
This would actually, it's not a spiritual book at all, but it will help your spiritual life.
And you get
I get no royalties. I am in the secular sense,
fangirl.
I am a disciple.
A fangirl
of David Allen. David Allen wrote a book called Getting Things Done, The Art of Stress-Free Productivity. It has changed my life.
Yeah, I just need a couple folders.
Oh.
And you know what?
I so badly want to.
You know what slowed me down last time when I tried this?
What?
The little thing that you use to punch out
the label maker?
The label maker, and I've changed it. You know,
I love my label maker.
Well, on envelopes, they have those little peel and stick things.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to start using those.
Those are fine.
Because those are easier for me to do. But
you have to write it neatly.
Have you seen my penmanship? I have beautiful penmanship because I have an assistant that helps.
Oh, okay.
Rachel Jackson writes it on there.
Because you want your folders to look good because you want to like interact with them.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I actually think this is, we're totally off topic now, but that's okay. I badly want to have a ministry side hustle. I need no payment, no money. I want to help priests be better organized.
Yes.
I just want to so bad.
Well,
because I think it would help. There would be less stress. I think they would be more effective. They would have more time.
As vicar for Rain,
for people,
you should give each person in our vicariate a setup of David Allen.
A copy of the.
You mean like Ted's?
They have
Ted's
it in Spanish, yeah.
Ted's Escondido has that thing called the setup, and it's like chips, salsa, that carrots with jalapenos, and tortillas. It's called the setup, and you should give all of us a setup.
I should give everyone in the
vicariate
the book.
A setup. And it's like, here's the tray. Here's how it goes in.
What if they already have a good setup?
Well, they don't have this one. I promise. Have you seen most priests' office in their rectories, or their offices?
This is actually I so badly.
Because in the world of shedding, this is what you have to do in the world of shedding is actually to have a plan to do something better. You can't just shed for shedding's sake. I mean, you can just purge, But like me, one of the things I got to keep you got to be my accountability partner in the season.
I'm moving.
In the season of Lent.
Okay.
In the season of Lent is...
All right, I'll keep listening.
Thanks. I'm going to try to have no second dinners, because one of the things I love doing is coming home and having just, it's like, gosh, I'm tired. I need some energy. And actually, I don't need any energy. I don't need any food. I just have to deal with the dinner I had. But I've been so unaccustomed for having a fire burning metabolism that I eat in the evening. And it's not like I need to shed that. But in order to shed that, I need to do something different in that.
What is my role in this?
When I grant you permission, if you see me with a plate of food in the evening after I come home,
can I take it and dump it on your head?
You can, or you could take one of those brown foot bag thing right there. That's
our
an
little
ottoman.
Footrests, yes.
Yeah, and you can throw that at me.
Really?
Yeah.
I've wanted to do that for a long time.
You can take the thing that you don't like in this house, maybe like that leaf with a marble slab on the bottom, hunk it right at my face.
What if you haven't eaten?
Hey, then I'm done. I will eat once I walk in the door, I'm done manjing.
What about when we have dinner on Thursday nights?
That's dinner. I haven't had dinner yet.
Okay.
But what I'm doing is I'm coming home after having dinner, and then 3 hours later,
I see.
at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night,
when
I'm
we're watching college basketball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or we go to a game at OSU and
yeah.
watch us make the NAIA. Maybe we'll get a game here. Oh yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Anyway,
okay.
To purge, when you purge and you shed things, you also have to have a plan to in my growth.
The lobster has a plan.
Yeah, the lobster has a plan to eat more stuff, eat more other things. I have to have a plan to grow in holiness as I shed. It's like, okay, I need to shed this, and this. These three things I got to get out of my life.
Yeah, so think about all you listeners right now, think about your desk, your room, your kitchen, your car. And there is something in your room or in your car or at your desk that bothers you.
Yeah.
What is it? What is it? Everyone, yell it out.
Cup holder.
Yell it out right now.
My cup holder.
Yell it out right now. I was thinking I have this binder on my desk. It's about the old church project.
Uh-huh.
And I have it sitting on my desk, but I don't use it every day. So I'm not going to throw that away, but I am going to get it off my desk.
Yeah.
That needs to be out of arm's reach. That's what's bugging me.
I have all these pens, and I'm a pen klepto. Anytime a pen goes in my hand, it goes in my pocket. So I had them all in my cup holders. So I took
in your car?
In my car. So I took those pens and I put them in a Ziploc bag in my center console.
Why do you need so many pens?
Well, in case I want to throw one at a passerby, I need to write. When
you have two pens, one of those belongs to someone with no pens.
Thanks, John Chrysostom. I think it's shirt. I think
he says coat. John Chrysostom says coat.
Yeah. So I put some in the.
You gotta pen the penless, man. You gotta. Why? Why are you hoarding?
I apologize to you, penless people.
All you tired and poor and penless.
You who need a cougar scriber. No, a stift. Is it a stift or a cougar scriber?
See, and this is where we are different because I use the same. I have a pen, a particular pen that I use, and I don't use any other pens.
Oh, yes.
Anyway,
I'm not picky.
But get rid of your pens.
Yeah. So I took them out of the center cup.
You need two pens in your truck.
I put it in a Ziploc bag, and then I realized one day I had 9 of them just sitting there. So what I did is I just took them in and I put them in a cup in St. John.
Oh,
and students took them. They're like, "Oh crap, I need a pen."
Yes, so, right. So you're shed.
Or you ready?
Molt. Lobster.
I took stuff and I drove it to the dumpster like a squirrel. If you keep a squirrel and you you catch him, he's digging a hole in your house, and you take him 4 blocks away and throw him in the neighbor's yard you don't like, he's gonna come back. So what I do when I don't want something is I drive as I'm driving someplace, I just put it in a trash can at a gas station, like the big dumpster. I put it there. I put it in I leave it in a friend's house when I take it someplace. As just like I did that to Father Gail Hammerschmidt a lot in seminary. I would drive over to the other rectory and I would hide stuff in his room that I didn't want.
But now you're messing with him.
I know, but he would find things. He's like, after a while, he would see. He's like, wait a second, that was at your room at the other seminary house.
So for Lent,
prank people.
For Lent, so often people ask the question like, okay, what am I giving up? What am I giving up for Lent? And that's a fine question, and follow that where it leads. And then other people will say, alongside of that, okay, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do for Lent? And what I would ask is, what do I need to let go of?
Shed.
What do you need to let go of for Lent? And that might be just like organizing space. That's one. And I am of the mind that organizing your space, taking time, putting on your calendar, organizing your space will actually make your spiritual life better.
Yeah.
Because when you want to pray, so this was just right behind me where we're recording this in our living room. Right behind me is you can see it, Father Kerry, is my chair. Right next to my chair, I have a little table and a lamp. It's a reading lamp, right? I love that chair, and I love that little table. But there was several months in the fall, and I would say my prayer life was average to below average. Because one of the things I do, that's the chair in which, spiritual reading. That's where I do it. I do it in the chapel. I do it in the church. I do it there. And I had that table next to me, stacked with a whole bunch of books that I wasn't reading or people gave me. And I was just and so every time I wanted to sit down to read, I would not sit down to read because of that table. It repelled me. Ooh. And then there came a day. It was a Monday a couple weeks ago, and it was the beginning of the year. I took literally 5 minutes and put those books where they go, which several of them was giving them away. And now the last probably month and a half, every day I now sit in that chair and I read. I'm reading this glorious book of the ordination homilies of Pope Benedict
the 16th.
Oh my gosh, he's killing me, and it's beautiful. And what was stopping me before was that pile. Anyway, so as you go into Lent, okay, fine. What do I want to give up? Right, give up something hard. Okay, what can I do? What do I want to take on? I want to be more charitable. I want to be more generous.
Yep,
all good, right? But then I would also add to that, what do I need to let go of? Be the lobster. Molt. Shed. Get rid of something that is getting in the way.
Restricting your growth.
That is restricting your growth. You must molt in order to grow. You must shed in order to live.
I feel like I'm in...
Right? Okay, anyway, this is going to be... You're going to hear...
Field of Dreams kind of stuff out here.
Some version of this. If you molt, you will grow. Be the lobster. Anyway, if it helps, just go and watch YouTube videos of lobsters shedding if you need motivation.
I just want to hear, hey, yeah, we got a lobster over here. It's got no shell.
Yeah. But
really?
You can, if you're a lobsterman will catch, they catch lobsters of all different sizes. And then every once in a while, they catch a lobster with no shell. It's called a soft lobster.
And you could just dip it in butter.
Because it had just recently molted.
You could dip it in butter.
And you could cook it. And there's special recipes just for that kind of lobster.
You've learned a lot.
YouTube. Me and lobsters,
The people of Dorchester.
And finally, I just want to tell you about the greatest meal I ever had, which was at this restaurant in Kennebunkport, Maine. I had a lobster BLT.
Oh my gosh.
Which you can't have on Ash Wednesday.
And it's totally not kosher either.
And it's not kosher. Okay, happy Lent. Be the lobster.
Peace.